Okay, kiddies, we are here today to talk about the EMX1, Korg EMX1. The EMX line has been around since 1999, when they released their originals, the ER, the EA, the ES, and the EM. I've owned pretty much every electribe that there's been out there, and then came the second generation in 2003, which was this, and the ESX, which is just over here. We're not here to talk about that one. Well, we're here to talk about the tubes today. So, but yeah, anyway, a bit more about the Groovebox, and then the third generation, the E2, which is under here, came along a little bit later. But we're not here to talk about Grooveboxes. I'll do another video on those a little later. We're here to talk about tubes. These tubes are dying. So I need to replace them, and I just wanted to show you how easy it really is. So if anybody out there has a tribe and they're thinking to themselves, gee, I wonder what new tubes would sound like, this is the video for you. Anyway, take a listen to my broken tubes. So kiddies, this is what a set of broken tubes sounds like. Read a review a while back on the electribes, and they said even when they're broken they work. Technically kind of the same thing. You heard that when I turned it right the way up, it just started distorting and stuff. So it's time to pop a new set of tubes in my electribe. So clearly we need to whip these out and replace them with some new ones. I'll just show you quickly the ones that I have. These are the new tubes that I've decided to go for. I think they're rubies, I'm not 100% sure. They were billed as Soviet tubes on eBay when I bought them. They cost £23, and it's a ridiculously simple job to just pop these buggers in and out. The biggest pain in the butt for me was getting the calibration cable made up, and I got mine made up at PMT Bristol when they were sound control long time ago. I've done the replacement for the tubes about 4 or 5 times. I think this is my 6th pair. Each tube brings a completely different sound to the electribe, makes it slightly warmer, slightly more distorted, slightly cleaner. Had a set of Mesa Boogie tubes which just sounded ridiculously clean. It was like there wasn't anything in there. But if that's the sound you're after, then go for it. So yeah, the calibration cable, as you can see, has got a stereo here and a mono over here, and then some different bits and pieces on the inside. If you're handy with a soldering iron and cables, you can make this ridiculously easy. So let's whip out my tubes. You're going to need one of these, and that's literally all the tools you're going to need to do this. So, electribe, here is the tubes, there they are, and that is the plate you need to remove to get them out. And it's stupid simple, so we'll do that now. 2 fairly small screws. 1, 2. And then the plate itself. And then you'll have access to the tubes, which I'm just going to pull them out. And it's kind of wiggle and pull, wiggle and pull. There we go. There we go. Gotta be pretty delicate with this one. There we go. This is what I had in before, RSD. And these were sent to me by Stuart Smith. He came across them in a box full of tubes. He's a tube enthusiast, and he's like, look what I got. And I'm like, oh, I'll try those in my tribe. So I did, but unfortunately they are dying. So there's the tubes, there's one. And there's 2. You can't see any damage, but they really sound awful. You heard how they sounded just now. Anyway, so people are going to scream at me for touching those tubes with my hands. However, they're defunct, so it's not that important. However, The new tubes, I really don't want to touch with my hands at all. Apparently, if you touch them, the grease on your fingers will shorten the lifespan on them, so I'm going to wrap mine in a bit of tissue. I also like to see the logo, so put them in where you can see the logo. That's not going to happen. Oh, that's a shame. Yep, let's say that one was in. Let's get the other one out. These tubes have been passed. It came with a passed and balanced. That's another thing. I've never had to adjust the balance on any of the tubes I've ever put in. Saying that, chances are this time I will. Just wiggle him into place. Don't be forceful. Do not be forceful. Getting that. One more and we're in. Won't do me. So, there are my new tubes in place. And just pop the cap back on it. And then we can start the calibration process. So that is our input of the tubes out of the way. Now we can get on with the calibration of this thing. Where have I put my cable? There it is. Okay, so here are my notes. Okay, so the stereo end of your calibration cable goes into the phones, which is this one here. And then the mono one goes into the mic input, and you need to slide it over to mic. That is done. You also need to have your EMX set to the master volume to max. Oh, yeah, that's master volume. And that's tube gain. I've stuck a sticker over it. Oops. Tube gain to minimum. And audio in level to max. And I'll just plug this in and be right back. Okay, we're back. She's plugged in, and you've got to press step edit and erase and turn the box on, and she starts to calibrate. She does a warm-up thingy there that lasts for a minute and some. So I think this is what killed my tubes in the past, is taking it to parties and then having things break on it, the electric break, and having to turn the tribe on multiple times before a set. That, I'm pretty sure that kills electribes. Quick history on my involvement involvement with groove boxes. My first groove box, I got a Roland MC505 back in, where's my notes, 2004, and then about 6 months later got this this one. I've owned just about every electribe there is. I was around a 307 when I had the 505, and I've recently had a play on the MC808. Out of all of those groove boxes, the one I keep coming back to is the electribe because of the ease of function and playability, really. Now, I don't quite use the electribe in the way that everybody else uses the electribe. I don't use the synth engine at all. She spits MIDI from here to my other synths, the K2, the System 1M, and controls the cutoff, filter, resonance, and envelope on the 303, TB03. That I've got because I've got a broken knob on that one. So yeah, I know a few things about groove boxes, and then Roland went and released the beast that is the 707. I will be doing a little video on the 707 soon, and what she can do and her capabilities and how I use her. There's a lot of people who do tutorials. I'm not going to do a tutorial. I'm going to do this is how I'm going to use the 707, rather than it does this and it does this. There's billions of those out there. Anyway, where are we here? 29 seconds to go. You got 29 seconds to fill. You got 29 seconds to fill. So yeah, I know a few things about groove boxes. I've had a few, had play on a few. The only ones I haven't touched are the Yamaha, the RX-7, and there's a few others that I haven't touched. But yeah, back in the day, these were the only groove boxes that were, you know, affordable. You know, the 909 when that was released was like £1,200. This one was $450, I believe, or $350, something like that. There we go. I'll just show you what she says. She says adjust L, nothing. So we press 16. Hold on a minute. She seems to not want to do that. So adjust L, no, 16. There we go. She's just accepted it. So yeah, if there's nothing wrong with it and there's no need to adjust, let's just show you again here. She's obviously being picky today. Adjust the right by nothing. So again, press 16. I'll do this here. Press 16. Let's see if she does it. Yeah, there we go. And then valve calibration. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it'll then say valve G max. So you turn the valve up to max, and then you press 16 again. And then she does her calibration, and that's it, she's done. That's it. So, that's it. Never had to adjust a thingy in my life. Then I'm just going to turn it back off again. Remember, my thing is broke, so turn them off. Take the calibration cable out. Turn her back to line, and then I'm going to plumb her in and show you what she sounds like now. Okay, so the electribe is now plumbed back into the whole beast, and this is where I had the settings for the max level and the tube gain on my EMX before, and this is what it sounds like now. Okay, so let's just whack up that tube gain, and now let's turn up